All right, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I want to give all the praises, all the honor, and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakakwadash. And of course, as always, double honors to our apostles and our elders that rule well at Great Millstone. And salutations to all you sincere Akim that are preaching this word in all truth and sincerity. So it is October 31st, and it is the pagan, ritualistic holiday of Samhain, which you people know as Halloween, all right? It's a very demonic, unholy day. And I'm here at the, the field, or at work, if you will. And we call it slavery, you know what I mean? And so they have signs posted, that to donate to food banks if possible, because the food that is being donated to people through these food banks is in high demand. All right, people are going and, asking for food more and more. You brothers out there, and sisters that believe in Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, there's nothing wrong with, going to these food banks. But, what this lesson is about is famine, man. And the majority of people that live here in Babylon the Great, America, are Israelites. All right, no matter what you look like on the outside, you got Israelites that, were scattered amongst all nations. So here in Babylon, the majority of people are Israelites, man. All right, the EBT cuts, if they do happen, which, the Fed is pushing for Trump to sign an emergency deal to not cut, people's EBT, their food stamps. But, if it happens, all right, it will lead to some kind of civil, conflict. And here the store that I work had that sign up, asking people to help out food banks, donate what they don't need to food banks. And then the store that I work for said that they're going to donate up to 20% of all their, 20% of all their, what's the word? 20% of what they make to food banks. Which when Esau, the so-called white man, the fucking devil, when he does charitable acts such as donate, funds and whatnot, it's a tax write-off. And the store that I work for, is a big supermarket. It's well known in the more fortunate areas in Babylon. All right, it's not some low budget store. It's not no fucking Dollar General, no Dollar Tree. Okay, so Esau's doing it so he can get a tax break. All right, and then my employer, he called me a couple hours ago. One of my supervisors. He called me a couple hours ago and said that the contract, they want to, change up a schedule of mine because of the EBT cuts, and they're afraid that, people are going to come looting. which it's going to happen more and more no matter what happens, okay? Because, you know, the economy is declining, okay? Employment is declining. It's hard to find, okay, a full-time job. All right, so let's get these scriptures. These damn ads, I don't know what the fuck that was, but, you know, Slakia, this is Slakia, not Leviticus, Lamentations, chapter 4, and verse 6. Now, the word lamentation goes back to lament, okay, which means to, you know, cry, to be in sorrow, okay? So it reads, Lamentations chapter 4, verse 6, for the punishment of the iniquity of the daughter of my people is greater than the punishment of the sin of Sodom that was overthrown as in a moment, and no hands stayed on her. Right? Because Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed in a moment, okay, with that fire, the brimstone. See, the hell that our people catch, okay, is ongoing torture. Okay, it's ongoing chastisement from Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, because you were created to be a righteous people, a holy people. And here it is, you're going out celebrating fucking Samhain. Okay, here it is, you dressing your kids up as goons and goblins. Okay, participating in a fucking ritual. Now, you know, your children don't know any better. Okay, your wife, you know, the woman that you're with, she's a demon. So she's gonna dress your kids up. And if you don't participate, you know, she gives you hell. All right, she's a demon to you. You can't win here. Okay? But nevertheless, you know, that is a reason why our people are catching hell, because they're doing things contrary, okay, to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. And it's not even just that, you know. You know, certain people, they you know, are willingly going off. Okay, willingly, you know, sinning. Okay? And to this day, you know, we were all in the world at one time. We weren't born knowing that we're Israelites. You know, so the hell that we're going through right now is part of the chastisement of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai for the generations of wickedness that we were involved in, man. Okay? Now, we're coming back to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, because as the scriptures say, there would come a falling away. All right, so we all discontinued from our heritage. We all went off. Okay? Now being back today, we're getting it right with Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right? So it says, her Nazarites were purer than snow. They were whiter than milk. They were more ruddy in body than rubies. Their polishing was of sapphire. At one time, Jake had it together, man. Okay, you know, during the time of Solomon, you know, in Solomon's reign, we had years of peace. Okay, we had moments where, you know, everything was cool. I believe Solomon had 70 years of peace because of the wars of David, because Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai was with his people. Okay? Then it says, their visage is blacker than a coal. They are not known in the streets. Their skin cleaveth to their bones. It says their visage is blacker than a coal. They are not known in the streets. Now this already took place. But Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai is going to do that again. Okay? When you know, we were all, I would say it like this, the majority of the Israelites were colored back in the ancient world. And when when you were hunger, starving, okay, it causes your body to react to that hunger. And if you were, you know, melanated, darker, you'd become darker. All right? You'd become darker in the flesh. It said their skin cleaveth to their bones. It is withered. It has become like a stick. When you look at those fucking Hamites out there in Africa, you know, they be bony as shit. They be bony because they don't have access to, you know, food sources that are readily available. They got to go out and hunt their food. They got to go weeks without eating sometimes. So that's what happened to Israel, man. Okay, we were rich. We had everything. All right, we were all in order. Okay. And then Yahweh Bashem Yahushai brought judgment upon our people, man, for being wicked, for being disobedient. He brought famines upon our people. And Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is about ready to do that again. Okay, because, you know, the majority of people here in Babylon that receive that kind of aid is the Israelite people, man. Okay, starting with the Israelite woman. All right, she receives those benefits. And then, you know, the vintage is going to fail. Eventually, Esau is going to totally cut off everything. Section 8, EBT. And you Jakes are really going to be starving out here, man. You're going to be walking around looking like sticks, man. Okay? Looking like fucking ham. Just bones, man. It says, they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger, right? Like going back to Sodom and Gomorrah. It's better to just instantly die than to have to suffer and go through hunger, man. Than to go through a famine, than to starve to death. Okay? It says, for these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. You pine away. Okay? Your body starts to eat itself. Okay? You get weak. All right? You lose all your strength. You're through. Okay? It says, the hands of the pitiful woman have sought in their own children. They were their meat in the destruction of the daughter of my people. You see? It said the Israelite woman, all right, soddened her own children, man. Okay? The Israelites were eating their own kids, man. All right, you had this Jake woman come out talking about if Esau starts taking away the EBT and access to food, they're going to start hunting Edomites and eating Edomites, man. That's true. Because before Jake goes to eat their own kids, all right, they're going to be eating you Edomites' kids, man. They're going to be eating you heathens' kids, man. Okay? And if they ain't got access to a heathen or somebody else's kids, they're going to eat their own. That took place then. It's going to take place again. All right? The hour of Jacob's trouble, man. The time of Jacob's trouble, man. It says it's going to be worse, okay, than any other time that ever existed, man. Okay? And we do these lessons to warn you. All right? But, you know, the scriptures do say, I believe it's what, Isaiah 66, I believe. Let me get that. Let me see. Yeah, this Isaiah 65 and 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, behold, my servants shall eat. His servants are the ones that are calling upon his name, that are calling themselves by their tribes, that are keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of their ability. Okay, those are the servants. It says, but ye shall be hungry. Talking to 2/3 of our people, okay, that reject the truth, okay, that despise the chastening of the Lord, here it is, are catching hell, and we tell you why, but you choose not to repent. Therefore, when Yahweh Bashem Yahushai fully brings his wrath upon this place, man, you gonna suffer in that, and you gonna die in that, man. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. So these judgments that are coming, man, these judgments that are taking place, isn't to push you away, but it's supposed to bring you closer to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, understanding that there is a hope, understanding that there is mercy for those that turn back. As the scriptures say, you know, he granted mercy in return to those that turn back, simply paraphrasing. All right, the Lord doesn't need your money. The Lord doesn't need anything other than your devotion, man, than your sincerity, okay? That you're willing to work out your salvation, okay, to the best of your ability. Keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability, worshiping and praying to the Lord for that mercy. It's not hard, okay? But those of you that don't even attempt to, those of you that don't care, all right, you're going to suffer, man. And this EBT stuff, you know, that's just the beginning, man. All right, we believe that he's going to, if he does cut it, it's going to be short, and then they're going to bring it back with some stipulations, man, digital ID or, you know, some kind of a digital, you know, way of him doing it, man. But ultimately, you know, this devil is going to push the charagma, the mark of the beast, the microchip, in order for you to receive, you know, benefits when he's ready to pull that trigger, man. But those of you that, man, that think this is a game like Druski, you're going to be Thruski, man. With that, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Harakakudash. And of course, as always, double honors to our apostles and elders that rule well at Great Millstone. Shalom.